best thing that's ever happened in my life.
That and your lovely wife. Yeah. Okay.
One, not the only.
Yes, right. So I want to start with Cassie. Cassie is running for the 428th district judge position.
Yay.
So, and we, once again, we're high information people. She's been here. Most of you know her. We know their children. She lives in Driftwood. Kids go to Winwood schools and all that. So can you talk about how your work as a prosecutor is going to assist you in your ability to serve as a judge?
So one of the main things as a prosecutor, I've been with my office for almost 15 years, is I'm in a courtroom almost every single day. Whether it's for a docket or trial, I know how an efficient courtroom runs. I've been very lucky to be in front of very efficient judges, and that has not always been the case here in Hays County. I've been a special prosecutor over here throughout my years in the county I currently work in, and there is a difference. But I'm very thankful for the two Dems that are currently on the bench, Judge Key and Judge Tibby. I think they've done great strides on the third floor. That's where the district courts are, and helping with that backlog. But I know y'all have seen the stories a few years ago of how much there was a backlog, and they've really cut that down. So now we're focusing on what else can we bring to the residents of Hays County? What can be helpful to people? Not that you're going to be a defendant in the courtroom, but that you're just a regular citizen. You have somebody in your family that might have some issues, and that's where my experience with drug court comes in. I've been the prosecutor now in my second time as the drug court prosecutor over in Caldwell County, and I would love to bring that experience here. I think that is something that my opposing candidate does not share. Also does not share the experience of nearly 15 years in the courtroom, knowing how things should be run and how to best put your tax dollars to work.
Good.
Thank you.
So also that just because many of us, maybe not all of us, is ever going to set foot in a criminal court, we still care. We still want people to behave in a human way. We still want things to be resolved in a fair and just way, and maybe some candidates might not feel that way. I mean, sometimes there is sort of a faction that has to experience that themselves, which is very sad.
And in district court here in Hays County, they're general jurisdiction, so it's not just criminal. It is civil too, which I do have some experience in civil land over my time with the DA's office. So it might not be that you're in trouble. Hopefully not. But that you're, simply coming in to serve as a juror on a jury panel, and you want a judge to be cognizant of your time as a jury. I've been in other counties where that has not been the case, where you're going to stay until this case is decided. I don't care how long I keep you, and that's just not fair to people who are coming to give their service to the county in that capacity.
And so often we talk about what a backlog there are in the courts. So I think that's, like you say, that is cost effective, it's efficient, and all that, so that makes sense. I think you got kind of a head start on this. Yeah, I think you did very well in the primary, and that's how most of us know her.
Yep.
So now I'm gonna go to you all remember from our last conversation with Chris, he was able to kind of take us to school a little bit on a few issues. So I think and you did make reference to the Veterans Court when you were here before, and that is an area that you are taking care of. Can you explain how that assists veterans with diversion from the criminal justice system?
Sure. It's a treatment court principally. So really what it's there to do is help with drug and alcohol addiction issues, but also mental health issues. So it's the first of the specialty courts that we had in our county, and so it's sort of this hybrid position of dealing with some mental health issues before we had a mental health court. And there's no conflict with them because its primary function has to do with mental health issues that are secondary to PTSD. So by and large, the court is there to assist people who have run afoul of the law in a criminal fashion. Typically, these are people who are doing so with drugs and or alcohol and or mental health conditions secondary to military service that are, if not causal, significantly contributing to the problem.
Right.
Now, it's a lot of I hate to say it this way, but it's a lot of fun to participate in this court and to get to be part of it, because I realize that it's a special group of people that I grew up with, first off. So I have a natural affinity for them, and I love my veterans. I grew up in an Air Force family. This is home. No matter where I was on the planet Earth, the United States Air Force was home to some extent. So there's that. But also, we've sort of selected for a group of people who have access to resources that the general public does not have access to. A group of people who has access to a group of volunteers that want to help them in a way that the general public doesn't. In other words, treatment providers who were themselves veterans and who want to give their time. So I have access to those resources. I also have access to a category of defendant who, by and large, is really, they've got some degree of social family network around them that is supportive, and they come with certain degrees of discipline and self-conceptions that make them much more likely to work hard and to succeed at it. So it's, in a sense, easier for me than it will be for other specialty courts. Like, you're trying to set up and run a DWI diversion court. That's going to be a cat of a completely different stripe. I mean, you're dealing with an entire culture that encourages a kind of behavior that's very different from the kind of culture that I'll be dealing with. And so, for me, it is, in a sense, a joy. I'm helping people that I really want to help. It's also a little bit easier because they have the resources and things of that nature to really kind of make it work better.
Well, speaking of easier, juvenile court.
Well, that's a heartbreaker. There's no two ways around it. That is easily the hardest thing I've ever done. Easily. I mean, just I'm not even crying thinking about it. I mean, Monday was. I wish I was putting that on. Monday was brutal. It was terrible. You know, I'm trying to help this young lady who does not want help. You know, and whose family's doing everything they can with what precious little resources they have, and she's just bound and determined for her own reasons to throw her life away. You know, and it's horrible. It is, but on occasion, the thing works. You know, and they turn it around, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. But it's completely different, very different, very different.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think when we talk to the county commissioner candidates, we can talk a little bit more about resources in the county and also in the DA's office about that too. Now, these are the people that have opponents, and I only give him a hard time because I've known him a long time.
How long?
Well, I'm not gonna say.
100 years
It
or
was-
200
I
years?
think it was maybe just 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm giving him a hard time. But talk about the DWI court and how that's going.
I thought you said I didn't have to talk.
Okay, well,
Okay.
if you want to.
Well, I won't talk briefly about the DOA part, but I want to say these two candidates are great people. And I hope to have, I know he's going to win. I know she's going to win because of all of you. I volunteered to be Cassie's mentor on civil matters, and this fine gentleman office is right next door to me, and I'm asking him questions all the time on criminal matters. And he warned me the first day that I met him up there at the office was it's like drinking water out of a fire hose. And guess what? He was right, because I always have something to do. And I took on the additional task of wanting to have a DWI court, and the commissioner over there, she helped me get this started, and we're getting it going. I got a DWI court administrator and a case manager. We have one applicant so far, and it's like Judge Johnson was saying, it's designed to treat people, to help them to get over this addiction, to get out of the clutches of it. You're a recovering alcoholic forever, but it gives you the opportunity to be in a program that's there to support you, and you're there because you have criminal charges against you. The courses I've gone to train to be a judge like this, they explain to us what this addiction or substance abuse is all about, and it's horrible. And so I have all the empathy in the world for these people, and I'm there to help them out.
And I think that is something that I think as Democrats, I think that is part of our value system, that we appreciate and we want rehabilitation. We want people to be helped, and we don't give up. And so I think to have people that are on the same page as we are, not people that are looking to punish. And one of the things we talk about in the city all the time is we really don't want punishment, we want compliance. And that's really more important, but ultimately, so that a Republican can understand, it's actually less money if we can rehabilitate people and they become contributing members of society instead of locking them up. So just think of it that way.
Yeah, studies have been done on it for at least DWI courts. It's like 6-to-1 return on your investment.
Yes.
Put $1 in on DWI court, it's
Also is that there are more grants available for this kind of work, and so there's no use. I mean, I went to commissioner's court almost every meeting for a year, and there wasn't a meeting that didn't go by that Walt Smith didn't say, well, now I'm a conservative, meaning I don't like to spend any money. And I'm like, so let's the money up front, 6-to-1. So anyway, these guys, they're easy. And so now you get to take your picture and you get to get your picture.